My name is Daniel, and until a few months ago, I thought I was the luckiest man alive. My fiancée, Lena, was beautiful, confident, and had this magnetic charm that drew everyone to her. We'd been together for 2 years, and when I proposed, she cried tears of joy. Everything felt perfect, until the night she decided to test me. It started one Friday evening when we were getting ready for dinner. Out of nowhere, she said, "Dan, I think we should meet up with someone tonight." I asked who, and she smiled a little too casually. "My ex, Tyler. He's back in town, and I want you to meet him, just to prove you're not one of those jealous guys." My heart sank. "You want me to meet your ex? At a bar?" She nodded. "It'll be good for us. I want to show him I've moved on, and I want to show you have nothing to worry about." I hesitated, but the way she framed it made it sound like if I refused, it would prove her point, that I was jealous. Against my gut feeling, I agreed. That evening, we arrived at a sleek downtown bar filled with low lighting, jazz music, and too many people pretending to enjoy their expensive cocktails. Tyler was already there, tall, sharp-looking, with that confident smirk people wear when they think they already have the upper hand. He stood up when he saw us, and Lena hugged him. Not a quick, polite hug, a long, too familiar one. My stomach tightened. "Tyler, this is Daniel," she said, smiling between us. He extended his hand. "So this is the man who replaced me," he said smoothly. "Good to meet you." His tone had just enough venom to make the word "good" sound like an insult. I forced a smile and shook his hand. "Nice to meet you too." We sat down, and the first few minutes were painfully awkward. Tyler and Lena started reminiscing about old times, vacations, inside jokes, their crazy college days. I sat there, pretending to laugh when appropriate, but every word felt like a test. Tyler kept glancing at me, smirking as if waiting for me to snap. Lena seemed oblivious, though I wasn't sure if she really was. After a few drinks, the conversation shifted. Tyler leaned back, swirling his glass. "So, Daniel," he said, "how does it feel knowing your fiancé still talks about me?" I looked at Lena, and she froze. "Tyler, stop," she whispered, but he ignored her. My pulse quickened. "I didn't know she did," I said calmly. "What does she say?" He smiled. "Oh, nothing bad. Just that you're different. Calmer. Less exciting." Lena's face went pale. "Tyler, that's enough." But he wasn't done. "You know," he continued, "Lena once told me she'd never find someone who could make her feel the way I did. Guess she was wrong, or maybe she just settled." I felt the words slice through the air. For a moment, I didn't respond. I just looked at him, and then at her. "Is that true?" I asked quietly. She shook her head quickly, tears forming in her eyes. "No, Daniel, I didn't mean it like that." "But you said it," I interrupted, my voice steady. Tyler smirked again, clearly enjoying himself. That's when I stood up. "You know, Lena," I said, "you were right, this was a test. But not the one you thought." I reached into my pocket, placed the small engagement ring box on the table, and slid it toward her. "You wanted to see if I was jealous. Turns out, I'm just disappointed." The entire bar seemed to fall silent. Lena's lip trembled. "Daniel, please, don't do this here." I shook my head. "I didn't come here to fight. I came here to see if you respected me enough not to let someone humiliate me in front of you. Now I have my answer." I turned to leave, but Tyler couldn't help himself. "Guess she's single again," he said with a laugh. I stopped, looked over my shoulder, and said quietly, "No, she's just alone." Then I walked out. That night, I drove aimlessly through the city, replaying every moment of the evening. The way she laughed at his jokes. The look on her face when he spoke. The silence when I needed her to stand up for me. It wasn't about jealousy, it was about respect, trust, and boundaries. And she had crossed all of them. I didn't answer her calls that night, or the next day, or the week after. I needed space to breathe, to think. A month later, she showed up at my apartment. Her eyes were red, and she looked broken. "Daniel, I made the biggest mistake of my life," she said. "I thought proving you weren't jealous would make me feel secure, but all it did was prove I didn't deserve you." For a long moment, I just stared at her. Part of me wanted to forgive her, but part of me couldn't forget that night. "Lena," I said softly, "love isn't something you test. It's something you protect." She cried harder, realizing it was truly over. I closed the door gently, feeling both sorrow and relief. It's been 6 months since then. I moved to a new city, started a new job, and began learning to trust again. Every now and then, I think about that night, not with anger, but with clarity. Sometimes, people test your love not because they doubt you, but because they doubt themselves. And sometimes, walking away isn't losing, it's finally winning back your self-respect.